Race 1. Five to 1 the field. How they bet then, Dr. Scirocco, and you say it's over. The joint favourites, they make their final couple of turns. Won't be too much longer, I don't think. Indeed, Andrew. Afternoon to you and everybody at home. A sensational scene here. The weather at its best and really competitive racing. As they come into line now, they're sent on their way for the opening race of the day, the old Rondo at 80, Conditional Jockeys Handicap Chase, and they race down towards the first of 19 fences on the outside of the field. Uptown Harry very much to the fore with Don Brocco as well. The grey landed just in front. The one who made a rather deliberate jump there when prominent was I See the Sea. He didn't lose a great deal of ground, but he wasn't particularly fluent either as they come then to fence number 2. Away from the stands, Don Brocco still there together with Uptown Harry, and I See the Sea there with Gibberwell not far behind those. Gibberwell is followed then by She's Up in Court, who's nicely positioned in between runners as they head towards fence number 3. King of Kong is further back in the field, and You Say It's Over comes next, followed by Etergien de Breuil, who's racing up on the wide outside and just jumped out to the right there slightly. Further back is EVEQUE, and EVEQUE is racing in company with Dr. Scirocco, who settled second last of the field at this relatively early stage, and Whispering Dancer is last of all. So they've taken those first 3 fences and now making their way gently round towards the first of the line of 5 down the back straight. And up front, showing narrowly Uptown Harry from Don Brocco in second place as they come towards this next fence. And there was a bad blunder from Jibberwell. Jibberwell dropped back from 4th or 5th to more like 8th or 9th with that effort. And he's now been rushed back up on the outside to concentrate his mind at the next fence, which he jumped okay. Getting reminders, though, Jibberwell, not a good early sign for him, as meanwhile the runners continue to run down the back straight. And they're on a downhill run towards the next of their fences, number 6, and still Uptown Harry towards the outside. She's up in court, and Don Brocco amongst the leaders with I See the Sea towards the inside. Jibberwell chased up towards the outer and blundered there, and Jibberwell has gone. Jibberwell slithers to the floor there, and he seems to be up on his feet and has been quickly collected by his rider, Philip Armson. Philip seems to be none the worse for that tumble. So Jibberwell out of the contest. They've still got 2 more fences down the far side to take, and Don Brocco now the leader. Don Brocco with Uptown Harry to the inside. She's up in court, and then I See the Sea, who's in 4th place. Etergin de Broye well in touch. So too is You Say It's Over, who jumped up nicely there. You Say It's Over is followed then by King of Kong, and then comes Dr. Scirocco. Dr. Scirocco followed by EVEQUE as they take the final fence over on the far side on this particular circuit. There, Etergin de Broye wasn't particularly clever, lost a couple of lengths. The back marker is still Whispering Dancer, where he's been throughout, but he's well in touch, only 7-8 lengths off the leaders, who now begin the turn back towards home. This for the first time, fence number 9. They've still got a long, long way to go, and the grey head of Don Brocco will perhaps show just out in front here as they come towards the next fence, although he got in very close to that, and he was out-jumped by I See the Sea, who comes through to lead. I See the Sea, Don Brocco, and she's up in court, followed by Uptown Harry on the stand side, and King of Kong in the red and white colours is next. The second of the greys, and a close 6, is You Say It's Over, as they come now towards the water jump. You Say It's Over, joined there by Dr. Scirocco, who's travelling nicely, which is more than can be said for Etergin de Broye, who's now come under pressure with a circuit left to go, and Whispering Dancer is last of all. As they race now towards the next fence, it's a plain one, and I See the Sea led there. I See the Sea from Don Brocco, and she's up in court. And then King of Kong, who's racing next to Uptown Harry on the wide outside of the field as they take the next fence. Still, Dr. Scirocco improving under Murray Dodd, confidently ridden and now moving quite stylishly into 6th place and has moved ahead of EVEQUE. Further back, You Say It's Over has come under pressure alongside Etergin de Broye. Both of them seem to be struggling now, and at the moment there's no sign of Whispering Dancer closing in on the leaders, but still a long way to go as they take the next plain fence. And over that, it was I See the Sea who continues to lead. So I See the Sea makes the turn on towards the far side of the track in this old Rondo at 80. Conditional Jockeys handicap chase. Still in second place is She's Up in Court. Close up, as he's been throughout, is Uptown Harry in 3rd position, followed closely by King of Kong, who races along next. Then we have Dr. Scirocco, who's looked as though he's probably going to be a contender and has looked that for some way out. He's landed ahead of both EVEQUE and Don Brocco, who is now just driven along. Whispering Dancer is next, racing together with Etergin de Broye, who is still in touch. And as they race over the next of their fences, Etergin de Broye made a mistake when in second last place. And You Say It's Over is toiling seemingly at the back end of the field. So the runners then head downhill. They have just 4 more fences left to take, 3 of them coming over on the far side of the track. And She's Up in Court is now coming through to dispute it with I See the Sea. These 2 touch down together there. They were ahead of King of Kong, who's in 3rd position, followed by Dr. Scirocco on the wide outside. And then responding is Uptown Harry, who did come under a little bit of pressure. He's closing in on them okay now, though, as they race towards the 3rd last. And they're in turn followed by EVEQUE, who's still showing up fine on the inside. Etergin de Broye comes next, and after Etergin de Broye, there's a gap to Whispering Dancer and a ridden along Don Brocco, who has dropped tamely out of contention. So the runners then head over the third last, and on they go towards 2 out, and King of Kong has come through to lead narrowly from I See the Sea in second position. She's up in quarters in third. EVEQUE comes next. EVEQUE is 4 lengths clear of Uptown Harry, and Dr. Scirocco, having travelled beautifully into contention, finds now next to nothing and has dropped away looking well beaten, and Etersion de Broy is next. King of Kong, nibbled at in the market beforehand, makes the run towards the 19th and final fence. King of Kong being pursued now by EVEQUE, who would be a stunning outsider to start the day if he could get up. Followed then in third place by I See the Sea as they take now the final fence. King of Kong on the far side. EVEQUE is coming right into contention down the near side. Followed in third by I See the Sea, and she's up in court well inside the final furlong. EVEQUE from King of Kong. EVEQUE just in front now by a length and a half from King of Kong. Took some finding that opening race winner. EVEQUE is the winner. Peter KAVANAGH on board from King of Kong in second position. Third place went to I See the Sea, and then in fourth was Uptown Harry ahead of She's Up in Court.